Climate change is real. In the last decade, the emission of climate-damaging gases rose drastically, and with it the temperature. In the last 100 years, the average global temperature increased about an alarming 0.85 degrees Celsius. And if we do not act now, it will continue to rise. Leading scientists and world leaders agreed that the global temperature should not rise for more than 2 degrees Celsius. Otherwise, there will be drastic social, economic, and environmental consequences.
We are now at a critical stage in the global conversation on climate change.
Die Welt hat heute keine verbindlichen Regeln und deshalb muss das Ziel von Paris sein.
And the fact that the climate is changing has very serious implications for the way we live now.
Business is of course understanding that climate change is an enormous challenge for mankind. And business, industry specifically, is and will remain very much part of the solution to this problem. At the same time, we need to solve a global challenge at the global level. And this is why we heavily support an ambitious and a legally binding agreement which will have to be found in the COP21 in Paris.
We think that what is needed is really an international level playing field agreement where all the different countries in the world will commit. We need a goal which are comparable, measurable, and so we have to fight climate change, but we have always to defend the level of competitiveness of our European companies.
This December, in Paris, over 190 countries will come together to negotiate just how we can stop climate change.
Today, we all agree that climate change is a global issue and requires a global action.
We have to have more exchange between business and representatives of different countries.
500,000 participants, including governments, civil society, intergovernmental and non-governmental organizations, will decide on the future of our planet. For the first time in over 20 years of UN negotiation, they will try to achieve a legally binding and universal agreement on climate, keeping global warming below 2 degrees Celsius.
As Philips, we are a global leader in healthcare and lighting. In particular, we look a lot at energy efficiency, and that is not just because it is our business, but also because we waste so much energy. It is energy efficiency that can do between half and 2/3 of the job of curbing, reducing greenhouse gas emissions. That still energy demand globally remains to be rising by 3% per year, whereas the rate of energy efficiency improvement is only 1.5% per year. We build some new buildings, we use some more efficient appliances, there's some renovation, but it's just not enough.
Without business, we will not find the solution.
It is clear that companies must be involved and continue to reduce their emissions all over the globe. But how?
Although sometimes business is seen as the problem, we see it as a very large part of the solution. The technological improvements and innovations that come out of business is what will actually help solve the problem.
The challenge of climate change. Companies provide sustainable solutions to serve an effective strategy. The climate change challenge is also an opportunity to create growth and jobs.
European business reduced their emissions in the past decade and will continue to do so.
There is need of solutions, and the key solution that we are working on is software. Firstly, I would like to mention that change in regulation is not necessarily a bad thing for our product. Our product is software. The downside of change in regulation is more from a business market perspective. Our potential customers are most likely going to delay their decision. Now, by means of a binding agreement, the customers will realize that there is a need for a solution and there is a clear incentive. So that is very positive for us as an SME.
We have to make sure that the United States and China will honor the agreements that they have made in the past, and we have to stop to be the lone frontrunner in the world.
This agreement must give the right signals for investment to ensure fair competition between Europe and the other major emitting economies.
This agreement must be fair and it must be internationally binding.
We need to make all countries commit, both the developed and the developing world. It should clearly establish a framework for monitoring, reporting and verification of all climate-related data. And there is no progress without measurement.
A carbon market ensures that the burden of climate warming is shared. Under carbon trading, countries with high carbon emission can purchase the right to emit carbon from other countries that are emitting less.
The market mechanism is probably the one device that should be included in the final statement of the Paris Climate Conference, because it would mean that we strive for a global market for carbon, for CO2, so that the various regional approaches are being linked into one global market.
So we need one workable CO2 price for the whole world. We need one global system of trading in emissions.
We believe that carbon pricing can be an effective tool to accelerate business decisions and the transition to a low-carbon economy.
It should be a solution which provides for a level playing field of all the countries and all the business communities in the world.
The whole problem of climate warming will only be solved if we have enough new innovative technology, which is usually being researched and developed by industry worldwide.
We need to trigger financing for low carbon investments in energy, land use and cities.
A globally binding agreement where all countries commit to reduce their emissions will be crucial. Comparable and measurable commitments are the basis of a global carbon market and trading system. The industry, with its innovative technology and research and development, plays a key part in the solution. We need to trigger financing for low carbon investment. If we can create an even level playing field, we will fight global climate change and secure growth and prosperity in Europe for the decades to come.